Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we are diving into the world of food.
Ooh.
But not just any food. We're talking global cuisines.
Yes.
And, we've got some really interesting data to dig into.
Okay.
Specifically, we're going to be looking at, how people engage with all these different cuisines from around the world. And we've got it broken down by gender.
Interesting.
So we can see if there are, any differences there.
Data on the screen, numbers come alive. Male, female flows where the patterns thrive. Visual charts, public colors unify. Gender decoded, bringing truth to light. Watch 'em all drum fill. We break it down, real talk. Trends unveiling, facts from every block. Here's your insight, watch the data glide. Gender decoded, let the beats collide.
Who doesn't love food?
Right.
And specifically, we're diving into the fascinating world of world cuisine knowledge and interest.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think this is something that we all kind of think about a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but we've got some new research that sheds some really interesting light on it,
Oh, cool.
particularly when it comes to potential gender differences.
Okay, I'm interested already.
Yeah, I think you'll find this pretty interesting. So one of the things that kind of jumped out at me
Yeah.
was this idea that women,
Uh-huh.
they tend to have, it seems like, just a slightly stronger enthusiasm towards world cuisines.
Really?
Yeah, and the numbers kind of back that up.
Okay, what are we looking at here?
So the research showed that about 33.9% of women
Okay.
expressed a strong interest in world cuisines,
Mm-hmm.
compared to 28.8% of men.
Huh. That is interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not like a huge difference,
No, not massive, right?
but it's still there.
But it's enough to be like,
Yeah, like what's going on there?
exactly. Why? Why might that be?
That's a good question. And it kind of makes you think about all these different factors, right?
Totally. Like, what could be driving that difference?
Like maybe it has something to do with, those traditional roles that women have often played,
Right,
like
yeah.
in food preparation and how that's maybe evolved.
Throughout history.
Exactly, throughout history or...
Could it even be tied to, like, the rising influence of, female chefs
Oh, that's a good point.
and food writers that are out there really shaping
Totally.
those culinary conversations these days?
Like they're kind of leading the charge in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
it's fascinating to think about,
It is.
like, that historical angle
Yeah.
and how that might be playing into it.
Totally, because you think about, societal norms and expectations and how those might actually influence our interests,
Mm-hmm.
even when it comes to something like food.
Yeah.
For sure. So we've got this, slight difference in enthusiasm.
Right.
But what about actual knowledge?
Okay. Yeah. That's a good question.
So the research also delved into that.
Uh-huh.
And it turns out that when it comes to actual knowledge about world cuisines,
Hmm.
both men and women tend to cluster around what they call like novice and intermediate levels.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
So you're saying there aren't that many experts out there?
Very few people, regardless of gender, really identify as experts in this area,
Huh.
which I guess you could look at a couple different ways.
Yeah. How so?
Well, on the one hand,
Mhm.
it kind of makes you think, wow,
Yeah.
there's just so much out there.
Right.
It speaks to the vastness and diversity of global food culture. Like, no matter how much you think you know,
Yeah.
there's always more to learn.
It's like this never-ending
Exactly.
culinary adventure.
Yes. And I think that's pretty exciting
It is, yeah.
because it means there's always something new. New flavors waiting to be discovered. New ingredients, new traditions.
And so, thinking about that, I'm curious, where would you say you fall, listener, on that spectrum of novice to expert?
Yeah. Are you more of a seasoned gourmand
Someone who can just effortlessly navigate a menu?
in a foreign language?
Or are you more on that culinary explorer side of things?
Still figuring it all out?
Yeah, just starting to dip your toes in.
I think that's where a lot of us are.
Probably, yeah.
Which is great because it means we're all on this journey together.
Exactly. We've got so much to explore and learn from each other.
Yeah. And, thinking about that, I'm curious, for everyone listening, when was the last time you tried a dish? that was from a culture that was completely unfamiliar to you?
Oh, that's a good question.
What surprised you about it?
What sparked your curiosity?
Did it make you want to learn more
Yeah.
about that culture?
Right.
Those are the kinds of things I think are really cool to reflect on.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it seems like even though women might have, that slightly higher level of enthusiasm, when it comes to actual knowledge,
Uh-huh.
we're all kind of on a pretty level playing field.
Okay.
Most of us are still, navigating that world
That vast world.
of global flavors, and that's okay.
Yeah, I think it's kind of exciting.
It is, because it leaves us with this whole world of culinary adventures to explore.
Sorry.
And that's what I love about food.
Mm.
There's always something new to taste, a new ingredient to discover, a new culinary tradition to learn about.
Yeah, it's really a never-ending journey
Exactly.
of exploration and delight when it comes to food.
So keep that adventurous spirit alive, everyone, and bon appétit.